Hi, this is Jay West, and I am the prayer guy, and this is 5 a Day with Jay. We're talking about prayer points that'll help your prayer walk and your prayer life. And we're still talking about obedience and listening to God. And there was a season a number of years ago, and actually this has actually happened many times for me, but this is just one that I remember, where I was shopping for a car. I was shopping for an SUV, a used SUV that I could afford. We only buy what we can afford. Uh, if you have a car loan, that's your business. I've just not had a car loan since I was in high school with my dad. And one other time, a friend helped me buy a car, interest-free money. But otherwise, I've never had a car loan with a dealer or a bank. And so I just try to buy what I can afford and just gradually work up. And that's worked well. And part of that process has been giving cars away. And so it's the promotion of the type of cars we've been able to get has been a blessing from God, just doing that. And so anyway, I was looking for a car, and I was looking specifically for a Ford Escape. And when I lived in Bellevue, Nebraska, Bellevue Honda had a Ford Escape. That seemed kind of weird. I saw it online, and they were asking $8,700. It was 87 or 8,900, and I'm pretty sure it was 87. And I thought, well, that's a price I could afford. And it looked like a nice looking car, good mileage, and pretty color, kind of a light green with a gray interior, and just a number of features that I wasn't necessarily looking for. And so I thought I'd go down there and check out this car. And I'm getting up to go check out the car, and God just spoke to me. He said, they'll take 6,500. I mean, he just dropped that into my heart. I didn't even pray about it yet. He just said they'll take 6,500, and the price was 8,900 or 8,700. I thought, okay. So I went down there confident now, and I test drove the car. It was a sweet Christian lady, car dealer, salesperson, and we talked about the Lord and her church and my church and different things. And I test drove the Ford Escape. I liked it, felt good in it. It's four-wheel drive. I wanted four-wheel drive because when I travel in the winter and speaking at churches, I wanted to be able to get places comfortably and safely. And so anyway, she said, you want to make an offer? And I said, yeah, I'd like to offer 6,500. And she laughed, and she said, you can't drop the price that low. That's over $2,000 down. You got to start with increments that are much closer if you want to get to that price. I didn't even say God said. I just said, I just feel that that's what I'm supposed to offer. She said, well, they're never going to accept this. They're never going to agree to this. I said, well, that's my offer. Do you want to take it or not? And she said, okay, I'll take it, but I'm sure I'll be back here telling you they're not taking the offer. She came back 15 minutes later, shaking her head. She said, I can't believe it. They accepted your offer, 6,500. And then I said, well, on top of that, I said, I don't have all the cash right now. I got to put half of it on my credit card, and I'll pay half this month, and I'll pay half next month, because I'll pay my credit cards in full too, but that's just where I'm at. She said, they won't do that. She came back and said, they agree to that too. She goes, you must have God's favor. And then I shared with her, I said, well, God told me in advance what they would take. But I didn't want to act presumptuous. I didn't want to look arrogant. I didn't want to look prideful, like I hear from God or whatever. So I just didn't even say that to you. But God knew what the price would be. And so I had to trust him in the process. And sometimes God will just speak to us even when we're not praying. That's the kind of relationship we have. I'm sure there's people call you up. You didn't expect them to call. They just called up and said, hi, I haven't heard your voice for a while. I want to talk to you. I want to share with you. I want to bless you. I want to go out to eat. I'm sure you have friends that do that all the time. Or that you do it to other people. Hey, I haven't talked to you. I'd like to get acquainted. Let's get together sometime. That's the way God was with me. He said, they'll take 6,500. I'm like, this is the blessings of God. And he loves to bless his children. He wants to bless you. But you got to have hearing ears. You got to have ears that are in tune to the Holy Spirit all the time, which means you got to block out the noise of the world. And you got to be willing to respond when you hear his voice, because his voice is distinct. You'll know it when you hear it. And you'll be blessed by it. So I hope this was encouragement to you today. I'm Jay West, the prayer guy. This is 5 a Day with Jay. Prayer points dealing with obedience. May you walk in that obedience every single day, and may you be encouraged as God works in your life. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. God bless you. Until then, bye-bye.